It's a miracle. All right. Stay. Don't stay. Sorry. Okay. Let me get over to YouTube. Pardon my crunching. All right, that's the last of it. Sorry about that. I'm refreshing the screen over on YouTube. Hey, Leslie. Hi, Carla. Welcome. I'm just waiting for my screen to catch up with everything else. There we go. And let me put myself on live chat, because I am notorious for leaving it on top chat. Oh, I'm so glad. Yes, Lily was here today, and she was just sweet as pie. Of course, nobody told me she was coming, because apparently only Sandra gets to know things now. I'm just a mushroom. As a matter of fact, I don't think anybody said more than 2 sentences to me today. But Lily was very sweet. She's so grown up, you know. She occupied herself singing and coloring because all the adults were busy. And she had some snacks, and I guess she wasn't feeling all that well. I did not get a hug today. She wouldn't hug me. So there's that. All right, so this is my glue book. I'm glad you guys got your journals. Were all the goodies that you thought were supposed to be in there? Because I was looking at them at the end, and I'm like, I hope this is right. Because, I made notes and files, and I'm sure she did. So this is my cover, and it's been... it's in a little bit of rough shape because it's been squished in a box for, let's just call it a while. So I haven't finished the inside, and I've had some splitting here, but I think that's okay because I'm going to cover that with some fabric anyway, probably some muslin. So this one is the mine one. So you guys, there were some flaws on the corners, which is why I put the book corners in there, but I wanted to not put them on there until you had a chance to look at it and see if you wanted to add anything to the inside covers, or if you wanted to put a big focal image on the front or anything like that, because those book corners can get in the way of making additions where you want it snug. So I hope that's okay. So I realized I already went in, I don't know, a while ago, and I had made some changes to what I was going to include in my glue book from when I originally made it. But then I was in here today, and if I take this piece out, let me just take the insides out of this piece because it's got an extra long doohickey in there. So I have front, or right, left. No middle. He stole a yellow eye. I only sent you 4 book corners. And I don't think I have any more of those at the moment. I need to order some, but that's going to have to wait till my next sale. I am broke at the moment, but I got my die in from Rit finally today. I ordered it on the 7th, you guys. It took 14 days for them to ship and for me to receive. And on the 14th, I messaged them because it had been, I actually ordered on the 5th. I got that we received your order on the 7th. And then I never got a ship notice. And it can take, they say, up to 14 days. But it's never taken that long. So you still have, okay, your book corners. So we have to change out either the detective one, which I don't want to do, or this yellow one. This pineapple, which I love the color. But I went ahead and I pulled out this orange middle one. So I'm going to change that. So I'm going to do an orange middle tab. So mine's going to now look like that. Because I can't. I'm not OCD, but I can't have right, left, no middle. I just can't. So that's more or less. And then I want this piece of paper in there. I'm in love with the markings on it, so I'm gonna figure out a place to put this in here. But I gotta figure out how many doohickeys I already have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That doesn't count. 9, 10, 11. Why are there so many pages in here? I think I might have more than one signature in this book. That's a lot of pages. Or I was just super excited about things. Okay. Let's see if the other ones have that much stuff. Hey, Janice and Christine. Welcome. I am having some buffering. Hopefully it's just me, because I always micro buffer, and it's not you guys. I had to have the cover of the Cinder Skeleton book in here. And I've got a page. Now I've misplaced the folder it's in, so I have to find the folder. And it's an eggplant folder, so you'd think it would be easy to find. No. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12. So there are 12 in here. That's all right. I know that you have, you take medications that make you sleepy, and it's the end of a long day for you. I know. I want to find another one of these so bad. I will run across one at some point, I'm sure. I just happened on it in the thrift store. I didn't even know it was a thing, and I was in love. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm going to put this in between these 2 pages, though, because they're such a similar size. Okay, so I think this first signature, unless I miscounted, although I'm not really counting this is 3 different pages, because that's kind of one page. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. They're more or less the same. So it's a little more pages than I normally put in, but I wanted stuff. I really, it's great artwork, but you guys will bear with me for a minute. I'm not going to sew on the signatures tonight, more than likely. But I want to go ahead and add it in so I don't forget. And here's the kicker. I had it in my hands earlier. Famous last words around here. But I was touching it earlier. So I'm moving away from the keyboard for a minute. I'll be back. Wandering over to the other side of the room in search of. Let me put that there. In here. Not in there. We're not up there. Please tell me I did not put back in that pile of stuff. It's a nice dark eggplant folder. I wonder if it's somewhere in this pile of stuff. I've got to make some changes in my life. I think that's where I'm at. It's time for some changes. Well, it will turn up, I suppose. Oof. Ow, ow, ow. So yeah, so I've got the Scully, and I have no idea if I want to put anything else on the cover. I think that's kind of why I chose the skeleton to begin with. So these have to be trimmed down for one thing, but we do. I do need to fold this however I'm going to do it, because right now it is too big for the book. I can't, and I got to get my room cleaned up. I spent all weekend working on Artie Dar's swap journal that I had forgotten about. And yesterday I couldn't even feel my hands, but I got it in the mail. So that's done. Turned out pretty nice, I think. I was happy with it. I made a video of it, and after she's received it, I will, now on this side, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to make a pocket on this side. Then on this side, I'm going to fold it in a little bit. Just to be different. So the video will come out. I sent it priority mail, but you know, that doesn't mean anything anymore. It's supposed to be, I think, 2 days. She lives in New Jersey. Maybe it was 3 days. So, but that's also going to be, so this needs to be trimmed with the trimmer, because both sides are going to be too long unless I refold the middle one. I don't feel like dealing with that at the moment. So as soon as she gets it in New Jersey, I will, how much does it stick over? I think it was just like 1 inch or so. Let's try that and see how that works. There's a little overhang. It's not a big deal, but I don't want it to be like way overhanging the entire book. No bueno. So, let's fold this side just a wee little bit. I think that's all it'll take. I did use a bunch of damaged pages in here, my book, because I like the look. And it's my book, so I can. All right, let's see if that worked. Yep, it fits inside now. So let me go back to it. that's just about perfect. For eyeballing it, I did a pretty good job. So these will have to be stretched out just a smidge to right before I bind it. So, but yeah, I cut and folded and sewed and glued, and my hands yesterday, I couldn't even make a fist yesterday. Like, I could fit my whole finger in there. I know the gesture I'm making, but I could, as tight as I could close it, my whole finger could fit inside the fist I made. So I went to bed early. I took Els gave me some melatonin because I couldn't find mine, and I got a pretty decent sleep. And when I got up today, I could feel my hands better. That's why I didn't go live yesterday, and I didn't go live over the weekend because I was working on that journal because I felt bad that I had forgotten about it. So, and this needs to be reinforced with some washi tape because the page is a little brittle. But I think I'm happy with it. I think I want something on the outside of this one. I'm not putting, I know what I was doing. I was not putting something on the outside of the last one because I want to leave that blank. So how is everybody's week going so far? Did I already talk you guys into sleep? I would not be surprised. Nothing really exciting going on. Lily Bell was a joy today. She was so sweet. She's gotten so much better at entertaining herself. You figured I was busy. I'm just babbling. So yeah, so I had 4 days to think about all the things, and figure out that it's time for me to make a few changes. And look at that grungy piece of paper. It's only a 20-pounder, but oh my gosh, so grungy. And then this is part of the damaged, it stuck to something else. Ooh, and before I do glue this in, I need to gesso that as well, like I did your guys's. It'll be so much easier to use with a matte surface on it. So that's more or less what mine's going to look like. No other additions because there's more pages in there than I normally put, which means I won't do as many tips and tuck-ins. For your guys' glue books, based on my first year experience with the first glue book that I still have to finish up a few things on, if you're going to do the tips and tuck-ins and stuff, decide where you want them before you start gluing things in. That way you can cover up the hinges and stuff, because I put them on after, and in some cases it covered up the images and them, so parts of the collages that I did and parts of the glue booky stuff. So I did get these outside. This is one of the things I did get done. Lily Bell is Elle's youngest granddaughter, Lily. To just go through and decide, I would have been much happier with my overall design on the first book if I had thought of that. Because you always want extra things. I love extra things. But I didn't do them until after I'd already done like a run through and filled up most of the pages. And I wound up covering up some really great stuff. And, I also covered up some mistakes. So there's that. But if you have a really great image and you think you might want to tip in a tuck, a pocket, any kind of thing that's an addition to the page that's going to go over your image and be hinged in some way, I would really, really recommend you do that first. So I might have gone too far with this. I'll let you guys be the judge. Oh, so this is an extra one, and I glued the spine. I had a moment. I glued the spine on the outside. That's right, I did. And this one this is nobody's. This is just an extra one. I'll figure out something to do with it. But this got a coffee inside and out because I was confused. But so the rest of them, there'll be some on some of them. There's a little bit of coffee staining on the inside. I'm not done putting together the pages. The blood is courtesy of Els. She makes it. She mixed me up a little vial of it. It has great splatter and good dry color, so it actually looks like blood instead of just red stuff. So, but I was out there and I had 5 coffee mugs, a brimming bowl of coffee, a piece of muslin to cover the dog cage. And I was just like, woohoo! You know, the cup game? Kind of like that, only coffee. So this is Carla's. There's the front. There's the back. And I flung blood everywhere. I had to clean the post outside. Mike got a little... Okay, so this is for guts only. Guts only. And those are the shorter books. Leslie, I have stuff for you, I promise. So this is Leslie's cover. So I used multiple sizes of coffee cups. And I used a really strong blend of instant coffee. Yes. That is correct, Janice. She was here today. She wasn't feeling that well, so she couldn't go to school. No, I haven't billed anybody because clearly I don't want to bill until I'm sewing in the signatures. That way you haven't paid for something that you're like, where is it? And she's just a sweet kid. She is the youngest. She is just turned 5. She is in kindergarten. And she used to be very unruly and a little bit rude. But she's a totally different kid now. She was always sweet. She's a good hugger. She's a great hugger. This is Betty's. So, I've got to get in my file cabinet. I have a 4-drawer file cabinet. She's your favorite DEF CON. She's my favorite DEF CON. Yes, the saga of picking her up at school. This is Hottie's. I was just over watching them on Rosemary's. This is mine. I had a big splooge with the blood stain. I even got I got a little blood blister right there. So I made that one mine so that nobody got the big messy. I tilted it a little bit when I was first starting to flick, and it went down my hand and right onto whatever was underneath my hand. So, but now my job is I have a 4-drawer file cabinet. I'm taking up 2 drawers from my personal stash. Looks like, yeah, the head was near here. It fixed the fox head, right? You don't think? Probably not. But I didn't. So I'm happy with it. I'm not saying it's a terrible mistake. I'm just saying I did not mean for that to happen. But it did. So I made this one mine. Woo! So the maps and stuff are mostly going to go on the inside covers. I'm in my closet. I have a box of topographical maps from California, like the kind that you find at universities and in ranger stations and stuff. That I want to glue a piece of that to the inside of each one. I want to get a couple and cut them up. One to include for pages, but also to just a little bit of interest on the inside cover, or possibly on the inside spine, because we do have to cover up that cardboard. So we may do a spine wrap with that because they're really big. Really big. Janice, your logic is infallible. You are correct. Sorry, just getting a drink of water. I am super thirsty today. So yeah. And I had kind of a lazy day today. I did gather up all the stuff because I had to once again misplace this. Well, I was working on the swap journal. But I put them in a safe place. And we all know what safe means around here. So over the next couple days, I've got ironing to do, and this is my focus. Carla, arterial splatter happens. Well, I think we might have had some going on. I had to wipe down the pole on the porch. I got blood on it. Mike stuck his head in the from the outside, and he's like, "I love you ladies to death, but one of you is cleaning this up." I think he wanted me to scrub the porch too. I was like, I think the next time you spray it down for the animal stuff, it'll just wash away. Because Elle splattered some blood out there too. She usually holds hers over the grass, but she got a little crazy one day. Most of my splatter was coffee. But I did clean the pole off. So yeah. So I'm super excited. Let's see. Where is the sample one? I need the sample one for a hot minute here. Did I leave those over here? Did I put it somewhere? Oh, Amy, if your head, thank God your head is screwed on. Okay. So I wanted to count. I think there are 8 pages in these. So I know about how many. I actually think we could fit 3 signatures in here, but I want to put an elastic in the middle so we can put other things in there, like a flowish sort of thing as we're working through them. Or just so you can have stuff stuck in there, you know, as a thing. So there's a lot of flexibility with the design. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that the middle? Yep, that's the middle. So 7. I might do 8. I may do 8 pages, but that's because once you start plumping that out, we're gonna it'll be a fat boy. That's crafters, not a paper towel. Give me some paper. I need paper. It'll be fun. So I think we're gonna put 8 pieces of various papers in for this, and we are going to use some of the macro photography from that book. I think 2 per signature or 1 per signature. I'm going to see how it looks with 2. Because it could be like hints of stuff, you know. Maybe you murdered somebody in this room, right in this office up here, or you put a body in the water. Thinking about putting a body in the water. You want to murder the guy that sits in that chair, you know, that sort of thing. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at. So I got to dig through my filing cabinet. And I need to pare it down because I would like to have 3 drawers of Etsy product and 1 drawer for myself. I have way too much paper is really what I'm saying. But they won't take that long to come together once I start putting the signatures together. And they definitely, this was super easy to sew. The one, this one didn't take long at all. But, and I want to do a little bit of a mock-up in mine of a couple of page ideas for you guys, you know. So I'm thinking possibly midweek next week, these could be in the mail if we work on it diligently. So I thought we'd work on them on Friday. I think Friday for the near future will be our serial killer day, if you guys are up for it. thought that would be super awesome. Well, what else? I was going to show you something else. Oh, here we go. I forgot about this. So I still have to wash it. But this is the cloth that was under all the stuff. And then when I was all done, I just kept putting coffee mugs on it and splattering it. And then I blood splattered it. So, but I don't think I washed this enough, and I didn't scour the fabric at all. So it's resisted a little bit, so you can see the shiny. I'm hoping a lot of it will stay, but when I wash it, some of it will probably go away. But it's super, it's crunchy. But it's super, it's crunchy. And it's a huge piece. It's enough to cover a large size dog kennel. Only one side though, you know. If it wasn't so crunchy, I'd just tear it into strips and use this on the binding, you know. But it is awfully crunchy. And it's super shiny in places, so you can see like the coffee was fully. But I have to go out and spray some larger matte pieces for you guys. So I'm going to reuse it, and then I'm going to wash it. Carla's like, woohoo, serial killer, kick off to the weekend. So what should we work on then? Shall we think about this a little bit? I need to make a list of places I've lived. Let's see how much Amy can remember. Oh boy. Okay, so I was born in Salinas, California. And then we lived somewhere in Texas for my dad's basic training. And then for sure we lived in Japan and the Philippines. And I'm going to massacre the Philippines. That is not how that's spelled. To make great grungy ruffles, right? Well, I'm going to wash it, and if necessary, I'll take it back out there and pin it to the dog cage and do it again. Yeah, my dad was in the Air Force. And then we went to Hawaii. San Antonio. Thank you. Perfect. Then we were in Hawaii. From Hawaii, we went to Maryland, which is where we were stationed the longest, Fort Meade. From Maryland, we went to Germany. And then I went to South Carolina. So these are the two places I lived the longest before I turned 20. After South Carolina, I lived briefly in Oklahoma City. Then I went to Grand Canyon, Arizona. And then I went to Kings Canyon, California. Then I went to Death Valley. After Death Valley, we went to Phoenix and Scottsdale. No, wait, in between. We went to Phoenix, and then we went to Columbus, Ohio. San Antonio is 2 inches from the sun. I would have been an infant if I was. Yeah, I was born because I was born in Salinas, and then they went. Yeah, so we lived in Texas briefly. I don't remember any of it. Oh, but wait, you know what? In between South Carolina and Oklahoma City, I briefly lived in San Antonio. Again. And Houston. And then back to, this is a mess. Back to Columbia for a few years. Okay. Then it was Oklahoma City. We're in good order there. Columbus, Ohio. And then I moved back to Scottsdale. You spent 45 years in Texas? That's a long time to live somewhere. And then I moved here to Lost Wages, Nevada. So I have lived in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18. I have moved 18 times in my lifetime in 52 years. No, 51. I'm 51. So 51 divided by 18. Hello, calculator, you have to wake up. That's an average of one move every 2.833333 years. You always forgot. I had 1 year that went. Whoa, that's no good, Carla. That's crazy. So that's my entire life right there. Except for obviously I lived in 3 different places in Scottsdale, and I lived in 4 different places in Phoenix, and I think that's everything. I'm trying to think. Am I missing anything? In Maryland, we lived we lived on base, and then we lived off base, and then we lived on base again before we moved. I spent New Year's in Galveston. I lived in Houston for maybe a year. It was the dumbest part of my life, I got to be honest with you. And I lived in San Antonio the second time for maybe 45 days. That's why I worked at the strip club. Which is a thing you don't expect to say as a 51-year-old. I don't even remember the name of it. It was a total dive. Okay, so we have a list to work on. We don't need to do 2 pages for South Carolina. Places I've been more than once, we don't have to. So 1, 2. So San Antonio, we're only going to do once, even though I've been there twice. And I only really saw the stuff around the strip club. So, because they didn't have a car. How would I hear strip club? No, I'm never telling stories. I was not a dancer. I was a waitress. I schlepped drinks. It was 23. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we're going to count Texas all as one thing, even though I lived in both San Antonio and Houston. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then we'll only 13, 14. I think okay. Let me try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. South Carolina is 8. So we're going to cross off all the other Texases. That's 9, 10, 11, 12. We already had. Nope, that's the first time. Well, we'll just do it here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I've lived 15 places, 15 states. That's too many pages for the book because I can only have 7 pages. So we would have to fit, well, you get 7 pages, but that's 7, 14, 28. Gives us slightly less than 2 pages per place. We could do that, right? It's doable. So I think I want to cover that up with something more and probably hide the Reader's Digest. Put something on the back and reinforce the spine. So this will be my 12 of 22. I think we decided last time that I measured it that it's within the parameters of, it's 6 by 9, right? Yeah. Yeah, 6 by 9. This is 8 and just shy of a half, and just a smidge over 5.5. So it's within the parameters. Well, I was going to kind of go in chronological order, more or less. So this will be our Sunday project. And I have sucked at Sundays, I have to tell you. I don't know what my hang up is. I'm going to put the list inside. So I can gather up. I have some atlases out in the garage. Because I want to cut out some individual states. And get some cities. I want to like do a ring around and cut out some circles for cities. But I think it'll be fun. And I'll choose some papers. But yeah, I think I want to cover that with something more. And I don't see any reason to leave Reader's Digest on there, so we'll do something. Maybe we'll make like a label with my name on it. But lumping them into regions is a good idea too. Although we do have some out of country things. Some national parks. What's sad is though, I've traveled all those places. I do remember a lot about Germany. But like Hawaii, I really only remember being on base. I don't remember us spending much time at the beach or going hiking or anything like that. I just remember being on base. So having been all these places doesn't necessarily mean I'm well traveled. But I think I made up for it because I've been, I worked in 3 national parks. And I've seen almost all of the areas of the country except for the Northwest. And I guess basically all the up top states, the ones that border Canada. I almost called it Canada. I've never really visited any of those. So I've never been to Minnesota, and I haven't been to Wisconsin. Ohio's as close as I got, which is on the Great Lakes. And we did go up and see whatever lake it was that's there. We did make it. That's the place we traveled the most. We were, I really pushed an agenda of being a tourist because we were homeschooling the kids at that time. And so it was a great way to learn history, to travel around to the different, we went to caves and we went to all the little roadside monuments, and we went to all the locks and canals, and it was a lot of fun. We hiked a lot. We went to the nature programs in the state parks, and then we had a lot of barbecues on the weekends and kite flying, and I think that was the most active we were as a family. I liked my Ohio time. They were very fond of embroidering O's on everything, though. If it was red and you could put an O on it, it had it. So I think that's what we're going to do there. So by Sunday, I should have enough stuff gathered up because I'm going out into the garage tomorrow in the morning. I'm creating a shipping box station, and I have to go through a bunch of the stuff that I have, like already broken down, because I need to get some stuff dyed, coffee and tea, for some upcoming journal things I need to do for the Etsy shop. And I need to take, I guess, I have a lot of stuff between the garage and my room that needs to still be broken down. And I have a lot of books and things like that. So I'm looking at kind of, other than dye and things for the projects we're working on, I want to kind of go for a no spend. Obviously, I'm going to have to buy magazines because as my subscriptions run out, I'm only going to keep a couple of them, and I'll supplement through savers where I can. But I want to get more money into savings to replace my computer and do a couple other things. But I have so much stuff. Obviously, I have to keep buying things like cardstock and lined notebook paper and index cards and things like that. But unless it's something very spectacular, I don't think I need to add any more books unless I'm going to do like a themed kit for a while. And I think I have a lot more than I think I have. So I want to get a handle on it, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's what we're going to do with that. And then we did I had the personal journal. So here is the personal journal. And that needs to go where I can see it so I don't forget I'm doing it, because it's getting near the end of the month. So we've already cut this down and rounded the corners. And we did find that purple paper, which I have now moved to a safe place. All right, let me think about this for a minute because I just had it. I think it might actually be on my desk, like on my ironing board, which is now basically an extension of my desk. I was trying to make sure it didn't get damaged in any way. But did I move? I think I know where it is. That's all for the thing. And that's not the right purple paper. We're not really accomplishing anything. We're just talking about stuff. Am I boring you guys to death? Okay. Oh, this is for thank God mine is attached. Okay, so let's see if I can find, because maybe we could start working on this if you glue the inside covers. I think I know where it is. I think I can see it from here. I've been trying to put things away where they belong a little bit better. Yep, I think that's it right there. I think I see it in this pile. I do. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. I believe this is my purple paper. This is my purple paper. Let's see. Nope. That is plain purple paper. Okay, hold the phone. That's gray. Okay, you need to go over there. Garage Ooh, outlining stuff on ATC coins. Okay. That's one of the Martha Stewart pages. Okay. I love that color combo, teal and dark brown. Okay. This is some of the paper I used in Artie Dars. I used, let's see if they're on here. The ones I actually used. I might have used from more than one pad. I used that one, I think, and that one. And then there's one with a witch flying on a broom over a big picture of the moon. And then I collaged a bunch of stuff. Ooh, yeah, definitely. You don't want those moving. Okay, that's fun. Nope, it's not in this pile. I don't think it would have gone in here. Oh, this is like a fairy tale, once upon a time kind of pad. Because I wanted to have an idea for a fairy tale, like kind of an off-brand version made out of magazine stuff. Okay, so it's not in there. So Amy, what did you do with the purple paper? You guys saw it, right? The purple paper that I put it in here. Oh, you dork ass. We were right in there with it. What a dumbass. Yes. Okay. So we're going to measure from, you can't take me anywhere. Okay, so to the where the spine's going to be is a little over 8.5. We don't want it right up against where the spine folds. So let's say 8.25 on those by, and then we do want this to go all the way to the edge, by 11 and 3/4. Maybe we just, let me put the piece of paper on here and see. Yeah, that's barely, okay. We'll just trim up and down off, and we'll trim it to, what did I say? I already forgot. I think I said 8.25. 8.25. Thank God I don't like, yeah, 8.25. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, lady. Because I was just talking about the inside of this book. You can't come in and have a conversation from like 84 minutes ago. You have to preface it with something. So 8.25. And this is not directional, so I don't have to worry about that. 8.25. So we'll have extras. We could do something with that. Tags, maybe? That part's got the, not intentional, but handy dandy. Let's see. So we got that. And then we want to do 8.25 here as well. Okay, and then we decided we're not trimming the top to the bottom because it's such a narrow margin. I don't want to screw it up. And easy peasy, just like that, we've got to start on our next personal journal. So I'm actually going to put the glue. I'm going to hiccup. I'm going to put a little line on here with the pen because we're going to cover it up anyway. So I know not to put the glue past there, essentially. Because instead of putting the glue on the paper, I'm going to put the glue on the book itself. I think that'll be easier. Let's get that as lined up as we can. All right, that should be helpful. I love teal and chocolate color. I want to do a teal paper with chocolate edges. I think that's on the list upcoming if I could find the freaking list. You guys, sometimes I look at all my mini piles of paper and think it's got to be in there. Which is one of the reasons I'm cleaning through my room. One of the other reasons. Because I don't know where anything is. How are things in the other room, Els? Are they peachy keen? I think I left the lid off this too long. Okay, I think we've got and I don't know where I've lost my pokey tool on top of everything else. Never fear, I know where my penguin is. We'll use an awl. Okay. Ooh, bubble. Yep, there it is. Glue booger. Glue booger. We got to move some scissors. Let's see if that helps. I also think this hasn't been watered down any. I think this is a fresh bottle. They found it while I was cleaning, looking for my allergy medicine, which I have misplaced. So I've been rocking a sinus headache for a couple of days. I got some off Els for last night for yes.
How are you?
It would be nice if one time you walked in here and didn't just look around at all my shit.
Well, I'm trying to make sure I can walk someplace without. This is three-dimensional to you.
Yes.
Weirdly,
Why?
yes. Right?
Is it not? It is.
Don't show anybody.
I'm not. But it is three-dimensional.
Yeah, but like the whole thing looks.
Yeah, like that kind of, like when you have chevron and it makes your eyes go even though it's not moving.
Yeah.
I think it's the spacing of the. Yeah. Thanks for making my eyes googly.
Sorry.
Yes.
Do you think that's a cool idea?
Is it textural? I'll touch it with my pinky. Everything else has glue on it.
Ooh, it's fabric.
Is it really?
Uh-huh.
From when you had.
It's my next big idea. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's super cute.
Look, and I even ink colored.
Oh, that's
stuff.
disgusting. Look at you. Wait, let's see if anybody's saying anything to you. Nope. I think I put them all to sleep.
Oh, okay. No, when I logged in because I was outside, I walked into you can't take me anywhere. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to Google your eyes out.
I'm having trouble. I think it's my sinuses because they're making
Having
my
trouble
eyes
focusing.
water. So I'm having trouble focusing. And then you showed me that, and it was like, "Whoa!"
Sorry.
It was like chevron. I used to hate when I worked at Talbot's and Target
Uh-huh.
folding chevron anything, especially if it's black and white. The
Oh,
black
yeah.
and the white are the
Oh, yeah.
worst. And the smaller the chevron,
the more
it
Googles you out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a terrible, terrible thing.
See, I looked down and I found a pair of glasses.
I knew they were there.
Oh, okay. Then
They fell off my head and I didn't bother.
I'll throw them back on the floor.
They fell off my head when I leaned back like this. So I reached up here and grabbed it. And thought I'll grab that later and then didn't. So there's that.
So you think that'll be cool, huh?
Yeah, actually I do.
It's really...
It gives you a lot more options as long as it's thin.
Yeah.
You don't want anything super bulky.
Well, we all have that extra piece left over.
Of a lot of things, yeah. Yeah. Less waste is always good. Leslie's, you just got your glue book and you're gluing in it already? I'm super excited for you. I got to get mine finished up. Who knew? Somebody making glue books, not finishing their own glue book. And then I want to make a creepy version of boho beads. And I've never made boho beads, so I don't know if I should attempt that live. It could be hysterical. I could totally glue myself to something. Or it could be just an absolute failure and everybody will be a witness to it. Okay, let's definitely want to make sure that we get... Ooh, nope. Got to cover this side. I don't want any white showing. All right. Even if it's a little crooked, it's going to be covered up by whatever goes in the spine to reinforce that weak ass spine. Noodles making fun noises. That Noodles. That's going down in history as one of my favorite cat names of all time. I just had my hands on the thing. That's going to be my last words. I just had my hands on, and then I'm going to electrocute myself or something. I'll die in a terrible glue accident. I've heard some pretty good cat and dog names, but Noodles just amuses me to no end. And I don't know why, but it does. It makes me happy to know that there's a cat named Noodles out there somewhere. I am Butterfingers today. She came with that name. I got to trim that down a little bit more before I can actually corner around it. I can't find any of my good pairs of scissors. Stuck with the crappiest pair of scissors. I'm just having a week. I'm having a week. That's not working. I just screwed that up. Hold, please. I need my glue stick. Glue stick, where are you? Ooh, I got in a new box of glue sticks, guys. Well, whatever else they did wrong as owners that made her a rescue, Noodles is still a great name. That's all I'm saying. think we're good there. I can see a little bit peeking out right there. You can do this, Amy. You only have to get it close enough for the corner rounder to do the rest. Okay. Now let's try and round the corners. Get in there, darn you, and trim. There we go. Okay, one side done. Woohoo! I love that purpley color. Doesn't necessarily go with the outside, but I like it. Thank goodness the paper isn't directional. Other piece of purple paper. Okay, let's do it. You're already being too precious with your glue book? But there's so many pages. Glue them suckers. It wants to be glued. That's the kind of juju I put in it. The glue everything to me juju. There's no wrong way to glue book. Unless you glue it to yourself. That's probably not the right way to do it. Just saying, it's a possibility that's not the right way to go. Just let's make sure we've got coverage all the way around. Even if it's crooked, because we're going to cover that middle anyway. Are you afraid to use it? Or worried you'll mess it up? There's no way to mess it up. Because even if you, quote unquote, mess it up, you can cover that shit up with more stuff. And I've done that before. I hate this page. Remember the clown page on the last part of the book? We covered that up with something else. I hated that page. Not because it was a clown. I just didn't like that particular image on that page. Aww. Well, it's good she's got a good home with you, where she is loved and appreciated for her awesome noodliness. All the animals that are here, with the possible exception of Mr. Harry, who I don't think was ever a day in his life. He is spoiled rotten. Ginger was a rescue, and she was abused. She has food issues. And Ozzy was clearly abused in some way. He's so skittish. But they came here that way, so we didn't make them that way. Oh my God. Everything I put my hands on and dropping it on the floor twice. Oh, she's your Halloween pumpkin. Uh-oh. Oh, this is a different die. Okay. The one I used all weekend still have the plastic cover on it. It goes on the inside. But I can see it up there. I thought maybe I'd lost the plastic cover. I didn't get the corner down all the way home the phone. Some people have specific ideas about, what they want in a pet, and they're not willing to compromise. And then some people are just assholes. It's a working theory. Yeah, that's fine. Definitely needs some reinforcing. It's not in the best shape. Harry, he is. I didn't know he was a rescue. He's got a very healthy ego for a rescue. I thought you had got him as a kid, and I didn't realize he was a rescue. That edge is glued down right there. I'm familiar with that song. I've sung that about some people in my life in the past.
I did get him a kid.
I thought you got him from like somebody who was.
No, he was. His mom and like 5 of his litter mates were killed in a California wildfire.
Oh, yeah, now I remember you telling me.
Him and.
Is that why he's so needy?
Yeah.
Because he was separated too young.
They were the only 2 survivors, and after they spent a couple of weeks in foster, because they were only like 3-4 weeks old when they were discovered. It took like 8 people to get them here from Santa Barbara.
Jesus.
And
don't you hate it when you glue something down and the very edge does not?
The very edge doesn't glue down.
Yeah.
So yes, Harry is a rescue.
So all the animals are rescues. Well, no, your son paid for Ozzy.
Ozzy was paid for, yeah.
But he had to have been abused in some way for the way he is. Because he's so skittish.
I think he came from a puppy.
And he's a big, happy breed dog,
Yep. I think he came from a puppy.
He should love playing with kids and running free and what? I don't know what you're looking at.
Are you doing that?
No.
Okay.
I had an incident, okay?
I just discovered it. That's all. It was just there and I saw it.
No, I know it's there.
Okay.
And I set it down there when I brought in the sandwich the other day.
And forgot about it?
And forgot about the banana. And then I kept thinking, I need to put that in the trash can. And now I'm a little bit afraid of it.
Oh, okay.
I think I might get some tongs.
You gonna do a glitter removal?
Yeah. I'm a little scared of that banana at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he came from a puppy mill. And I think that's why he's the way he is. I think he's a little inbred.
Well, and even after he's been living with us for more than a year.
Yeah.
And he's still super skittish about everything.
About all of us, too.
Even though none of us have ever laid a hand on him.
I mean, how often have you walked out the door and he barks at you?
Well, coming in from the garage.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so quiet at night, because I'm worried he'll hear me coming out of the garage and have an attack.
Yeah.
Ah! Unknown person.
I think he came from a puppy mill, and I think
so.
Probably inbred.
Is that why he's a little bit?
Yeah.
Dee.
Yeah, spicy little DTD. Because Labradors are gregarious dogs.
Well, they're usually fairly intelligent. Not that he's not smart.
Not
it's
ours.
Just, he is not gregarious. He does not love to run in wide open spaces.
Nope.
You can barely get him down the street sometimes.
He doesn't want to go out.
He doesn't want to go outside the backyard, and sometimes he's afraid of the backyard.
We were just out there and he scared the crap out of himself twice.
With his tail, or?
Yeah.
All right. Now there's glue stuck to my finger, and I didn't do a very good job with the edge on this. Dang it. I think part of it's because this is not paper. It's a lightweight cardstock. It's not the thick cardstock, but it is a lightweight cardstock. Let's see if I can get some of that colored in. I hate me some white edges. The good news is all the edges are already tattered. Okay. I need to take that off in a little bit, but I need to let the glue dry before I apply heat gun to that thing. Okay. So we want to cover that up. So let's measure that space. I just think that's the wrong color. You know what I think we need is some tentative dawn paper to cover that up. I think tentative dawn would be perfect. I do. I think it would be a good match. Let me see if I've got some in my personal stash. Ooh. I'm looking for it. I think this is tentative dawn. Okay. And there's a bonus. This is 32-pound paper, so I think, let me turn the light around a little bit. Organ arrangements, huh? All right, let me find a bit of paper. And wherever I put my pen. There's the pen. This is my awl. That could be dangerous later. Organ arrangements. I'm imagining it's not as delicious as edible arrangements. Oh. Oh. Funny. You are correct. So, what size do you need this to be? So, a little over 6 inches, and I'm going to cover this part too. So, that is about about 3.5. So, I think we want a little over 6 by 3.5. But I think it's a good sort of match for the color of the book itself. And half of it's damaged anyway, so that's why it's in my stash. Six. So let's do 6 1/4 just to make sure that we get it, the whole thing covered. By 3.5. Okay. Okay, 3.5 wasn't enough. We're going to have a raggedy edge on the bottom. That's okay. Let me get the scissors so we can even out a little tiny bit of that. That part right there. Okay. So we're going to round the corners. Maybe. Okay. All right, so that is the bottom. We can layer that up with some other things if we want to, but it's a good color match. Who knew? 2 years later and it's still coming in handy. I would have never guessed that when I made this color. It's turned out to be a pretty good seller over the long term, but I'm almost out now. So I may consider a small batch in the future for the Etsy shop. It's been a pretty steady seller. It was not hugely popular when I originally came out with it, but I think it has grown on some people. It's a good flexible color. Good for winter and fall. And it's a neutral. Yeah, I think that's a good, it's a little bit darker than the cover, but I think it's good. So let's not glue on directly on the cover. We'll go ahead and glue that on. And then we'll decide if we can find a phrase, we may happen upon in a harvest session, or that's kind of what I like about my personal journals, is I don't have to totally finish the cover right away. I can keep adding to it and layering it. But this at least gets the words covered up. All right. So there's our start. Now we're definitely going to have to reinforce this cover. And I need to put something down the center, but not really heavy chipboard, I don't think. You know what I think? Hold the phone. Hold the phone, please. I think I can do this. Let's cut that off there first. Now let's cut off one side. Let's tear that in half so it fits in the trash better. Okay. Now, okay. Now we just need this to be 1/4 of an inch. No. I think that's 1/2 an inch actually. And you've misplaced your ruler again. I think it's just a smidge smaller than 1/2 an inch. All right. So that's what we're going to try for, a smidge smaller than 1/2 an inch. All the way up. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, it moved. That, well, it got, let's see, got really skinny on one end. Phooey. Okay, we'll try and use part of the cover then. I wanted to try and get the name of the movie thing. Just because it would have been like a little nod. And there went my journal off the iron board. Okay, so this is about the same thickness. So we're just going to look for slightly less than 1/2 an inch, and we can get it straight because it's not a tiny piece. I think I didn't do that right. But I have to go around and get my book, so hold on. That's even and perfect. So we'll glue that down, and that will reinforce that spine right there. Okay. This time we won't drop it, and then we'll trim off the extra. So yeah, the video for that creepy swap journal, which I really loved the cover of. Don't get me wrong, I also love the guts. But I was particularly, I have enough stuff to make another one. So I'm not going to make another creepy one though. Probably either going to do something for spring or for Christmas. And, you know, using the same design. Because it was a little bit of a pita, but it was also, I really enjoyed the way it looked. And I can't wait for the video till I can show the video of it to you guys. Okay, so let's push that down real good because, you know, it's always a little bit of a task to get the perfect. Okay, so let's just nip off that end right there. Okay, let's go back over here and continue until we get a little bit better adhesion. If I had score tape, I could have just run a line of score tape down there. 1/4 inch score tape would have held it on perfectly. I should probably get some for some uses down the road. It's not a necessity, but I can see it for some uses, like for something this thin. Score tape would have been awesome. Okay. So we just want to give that a little hot minute to make sure that we've got so I used the eyes in that other cover. But what if we put the teeth in there? What do you think? Too much? It's my personal journal. This is not a horror journal. Unless you think my life is horror. So let me cut. I'm going to cut it as close to the words as I can. Because I am bound and determined to upcycle as much of this cover as I can. Because I love that book so much. Did I get you the right picture, Janice? I just now thought of that. I'll go through and make sure there aren't any more, but that's the one I found that I thought was the one you were talking about. But there could also be more in there. Okay, up and down, it's good. We could trim it just a smidge closer to the fangs. And then we'll look at, we will look at to the left and to the right. Oh yeah. Okay, so what are we looking at here? think I'm liking this. Okay, I'm going to be conservative and cut a little bit off each end. Okay, so just a smidge more off this side. Oh, I think I'm liking where this is going. I think I'm finding my happy place. We're obviously going to need rounded corners because we rounded the corners on the other part. Oh, yeah. Hello, baby. It's fantastic. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like it. Okay, let's ink that and let's get it glued down. Let's take the scoreboard off here. I've learned not to glue on my scoreboard. It causes problems. I just spent like 2 hours one time cleaning all the glue out of the grooves on that thing. I've learned not to glue on my scoreboard. It causes problems. I just spent like 2 hours one time cleaning all the glue out of the grooves on that thing. Now, where did you put your ink, stupid? Okay. If I were an ink pad, I would be on the edge of my computer. It doesn't need a ton, just to take away the white edges where, because it is stark white on those edges. So I didn't intend to make a creepy person. Oh, excuse me. Just looking to make one about the same size as the other one. And look at what happened. Okay, that looks good. I like it. Fantastic. Okay. I like it. Okay, and I think I'm going to use some of this E6000 just because I can. Maybe. It's pretty thick. Where's my little glue smoothie spreader thingy? It's just a piece of cardboard, but just I know one day I'm gonna glue myself to my own project. And Els will come and help after she finishes pointing and laughing. Maybe. Okay. Let's take that weird glue booger off there that I made. Okay. Okay. Well, let's not glue it on upside down. Okay. What did I do with my paper towel? Okay, let's get the glue off there. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Where are those scissors? All right. Okay, I'm going to take the word monsters from down here. This is off the spine where I couldn't get it. I didn't get it. It shifted and I didn't get what I wanted. But we can cover up another Springspiration publication by putting this right down here. If we're going, let's go all the way. I like it. We need to make sure that it's getting pressed down good, though. Okay, now we just need a tiny little bit for this smaller piece. We don't need to get quite so carried away. Okay. Closing up our E6000 nice and tight. And I dropped it upside down, so groovy. Let me get that off the edge of my... Hold on. I've done it now. At least it wasn't onto my keyboard. This poor computer's been through a lot. Okay. Now trying to glue that down upside down too. Okay. Trying to get it so you guys can see it too, because it's way down at the bottom of the... All right. Now out of that book, I need to take this off. We need to get a picture of the creature of the Black Lagoon for over here, and maybe the girl. We'll have to see what we can do. If we want to, I know we didn't have teeth like that, but it seems like a good match, you know. All right. So we're doing pretty good so far. Let's have a look and make sure our spine is nice and... Yep. And that's even upcycled from the monster book. It'll be covered up with something, but... So we've got to start on the cover. Now we need to ink that outside edge too, because it's got lots of distress marks. And I could throw that around some. Get that inside edge. Because I'm pretty sure in the book that the fangs came off of, there is a creature from the Black Lagoon, a couple of pictures. Okay, now let's make sure we're getting that top edge as well. And the spine is pretty. Pretty worn. So, but I mostly just want it to be on the paper that's distressed. We don't necessarily need it everywhere. Just enhance the vintageness of it. I know that's not a word. I love it. I'm just saying that's not where I intended for it to go, but I'm glad that it did. All right. So there we go. Good start. How are you guys feeling about? I know that the serial killer books still need a lot of assembly, but how are you guys feeling about them? You like where it's going so far? Any suggestions, additions, ideas? Before we get too far into it, it's bound up. I want to check in and get your guys' feedback. Because it's an all of us thing. It's not just a me thing. Although, I'm like, let's make a serial killer thing. But I want everybody to have fun with it, however they approach it. I'm happy with that. I'm super excited. Makes me want to journal more so I can get to this journal. Okay. So I will be live tomorrow night again at 8 o'clock following Rosemary. Sounds like she's got some fun stuff coming up for caboodle kits. They're going more private. So she won't be doing the journals like she has been. She's going to be playing with some color dye stuff. And so she'll be selling the results of her dye experiments, which I think is what the Wednesday and Thursday will be like. Will be about going forward. I think starting in October. But if you want to learn about the dyeing and stuff, they're not going to cover that at all. And maybe a weapon collection. Ooh, weapon collection. Okay, let's get that piece of paper. Preferred implements of destruction, right? So if you want to learn about the dyeing, you will have your chance because she's going to do a version of the caboodle kit where you get dye and fabric and stuff like that to do your own dyeing and instruction on that. But that instruction is going to be in the form of a video, which you can only access if you buy. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I'll be able to afford it, but it sounds like an awesome, awesome thing. So if you guys are at all interested in learning how to dye, I don't think she's doing paper per se, although I'm sure you can apply some of what she's doing. She's doing natural dyes, not fabric dyes or pre-made dyes. She is extracting dye from raw materials and teaching other people how to do it, which is an awesome, awesome gift. So you buy the caboodle kit, you're gaining a new skill essentially. So if you're at all interested in learning how to do natural dyed fabrics, which could possibly also apply to paper, make sure you pop over onto Rosemary at the, hey Kristen, at the Rusty Peacock. Let me get a link for that. If you're watching this later and that kind of flips. I think she's starting it in October, but definitely in November. Because I don't think she realized how late in the month this month has flown by, you guys, like nobody's business. I can't see the chat right now. But let me get that link before I end the stream. So tomorrow night, possibly I'll grab some papers and maybe we'll bind this up and add in a few decorations and see if I can't find that. I'm just waiting for my homepage to roll on up here. Okay, come on. Rosemary the I need to get one of those lists of links that everybody else has. Because they've wrapped up the farm fresh. That's cool. Okay, so there is the link for Rosemary's YouTube. So be on the lookout for when she announces the new caboodle, because she's not going to be doing the thing, the journaling thing she's kind of been doing for the last year and a half-ish. I think about that, 1.5 to 2 years. Let's go. I don't know exactly how long she's been doing it. I can't remember because memory like a sieve. But this new adventure she's on sounds exciting. So if you are fascinated with dyeing, or you think it might be a thing that you want to do, for yourself for journal projects, because natural dyes can produce such a variety of, even the same plant can produce different colors with the addition of rust or alum or other plants, and even the temperature of the water, how long you boil it, or whether you just put it in hot water and steep it in the sun. All of those things can affect the color. And natural colors lend itself to vintage, grungy, shabby chic, and probably creepy as well, depending on what it is. So just keep that in mind if you guys are interested. Check out Rosemary's channel. She should be announcing it in the next week and a half-ish here. And I'm sure she'll be talking about it more tomorrow night. She'll be on at 5 my time, which is 6, 7, and 8 across the country. Yeah, so check that out if you're at all interested. We are done for the night. Thank you guys for coming and spending time. I know we didn't get a whole lot done, but it helped me sort through some things just talking to you guys about it. So we've been on for almost 2 hours. You East Coasters are probably ready to crawl into bed if you're not asleep already. I am super happy with the start of this. I think it's fun. I love the purple inside. I can't wait to see what I come up with to do for the reinforcement here. I'm not going to wrap it around to the outside. I might put a strip of washi down there if I feel like it, but I think if I put cloth on the inside, that will be enough, because this is already kind of spinning, but it's been reinforced with this strip, and then we're going to add some cloth, so I think that'll be enough. So however you guys are spending your, you slept from 5 to, ooh, heck of a nap. That's a nice nap though, Janice. So however you guys are spending your days and nights, I hope it brings you great joy and happiness. Each and every one of you absolutely deserves it. Thank you for bringing joy into my life. I know that every time I come on here, I leave happier and healthier and with a smile on my face. So I hope I bring a little bit of joy back to your life. Until I see you in one of my lives or in a box somewhere at Rosemary tomorrow night, I wish you the happiest of crafting. Bright blessings and hugs and hisses to you all. Bye, 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 bye. The end. Good night, ladies. Sorry, Kristen. It was great to see you.